The time has come for this cookie!
Hi guys, this is Cookie coming to you from Kingdom 417, and this video is going to be based on the T14 on how to unlock them and how to build them. There is a limited event also on how to recall all of your T14s for free. Here's the clip I'm going to be showing you of how I unlocked all of the T14s. Here you would have seen I put all of my effort into unlocking the cavalry, as the total amount of troops can be built is much higher on the cavalry versus the others. To start off, I'm going to be showing you this from my P5 farm and the requirements you must have to unlock your discipline hall. To unlock the discipline hall, all the troop training facilities must be at least P6. Shown here on my farm, you can see that none of the barracks are P6, so therefore I do not meet the requirements to unlock the discipline hall. On top of having a P6 barracks, your castle must be P6, because you cannot unlock a higher training building level than your castle, so therefore you must train your castle up also. So now we're back at my castle, and once you've reached the P6 requirements for everything, you must research the troop types as well, and you'll find that at the Sage Tower. You can choose which troop type you wish to focus on first, or you can just unlock all of them just so you can do the enhancements before you're ready. You can look in each and every one of these research books, and you can see it's pretty much identical to the T13 troops, so there's not a great difference on the science level of this. Here we'll be looking at the prayer hall, and then we'll be looking at the enhancement skills for each of the types. We'll start off with the cavalry. As you can see, a T14 cavalry with dodge chance is a really good thing to have. Here you can see Holy Charge, as you have a chance to do more damage to 5 targets at a time. Here you have Lethal Shot, where you have chance to do more damage to all range units. The awakening skills are on all T14s, and it has a capacity limit of 20%, and it has additional damage done towards units lower than T10. So this applies for every 10,000, so you can get a maximum of 20% off of 2 million of these troops. So now we're going to look at the barracks, and we're going to go straight towards the T14 cavalry, and there's the final skill on there at the very top, the Divine Trowel. How does the Divine Trowel works? Well, it's quite like this. If you have 2 million troops and you sent out 200,000 of those troops, when this T14 encounters those 200,000 troops, you will get a chance to strike first before they can strike you, and then you go into your regular combat mode where you can attack first again, and they can then have the possibility of landing an attack back against you if you already have not wiped them out. So this number can change because the 2 million troops was as a reference, because you can have 200,000 and you sent out 20,000, therefore the same effects still apply. Now I'll be going through each of the other T14 enhancement types. Here you'll see on the infantry class that he has the chance to draw aggro towards himself and then launch a counterattack upon being attacked. And this can be quite useful on a defensive kind of player stats, as it will keep the rest of your troop types alive. Here, this skill increases the chance of you launching a counterattack, and this goes in par with the last one because you want the enemy to attack you, and now you have the chance to attack back before you go into your normal attack defense phase. And here you can see this skill is identical towards the cavalry, so there's nothing but change on it other than it's for the infantry. And finally, the last skill is to reduce damage done towards this infantry. Here is the T14 Archer and its skill. Here you can see that it has a chance to do additional damage to 5 targets and cause a bleeding effect. Even if the target survives, the bleeding effects will make sure the target dies. Here is the same skill from the infantry and the cavalry. It is based on the total amount of troops that you have in the castle. This skill you can increase to increase your chance of landing a crit rate damage. And the final skill is increasing your critical damage, which you need the crit chance skill up as high as possible first. Next, we'll be looking at the T14 siege unit. Just like the archer, infantry, and cavalry, it has a total amount based on how many troops you have in castle damage. This skill right here is a very important skill out of all the other skills I've shown so far, as it attacks 1% of your entire frontline melee units. What are melee units? That's going to come up later on in the video. This skill is just increasing damage towards 20 targets at one time. And this next skill is doing offensive damage in general. Now we'll be looking at the barracks to identify what your melee units are. I just circled it here. Anything with a range of 1 is a melee unit. This is a ranged cavalry unit because it has a range of 4, so therefore it's not classed as a melee. Both infantry types are melee units since they are infantry. And here we'll be looking at the siege unit next, as there are 2 types. One is a ranged unit and the other is a melee unit. And for the sake of the video, archers are just ranged units in general. Next, we'll be looking at how to obtain the feathers to build your T14 units. Click on the wishing well and enter the Skyland. You need to level your Skyland to at least level 30 by fulfilling all your daily rewards, and you can collect the crystals. You tap at the center of your screen now, where you can collect the resources gathered by your hero and dragon. Here you'll see the resources I've unlocked so far and the requirements for locking all the further resources that you may want to collect. Next is the hero and dragon selection, which will help reduce the timer for collecting these materials. If you do not have these hero and dragon, it will take much longer to collect these resources. Go to your alliance territory and then click on the aid center. Click on donate troops. The game automatically has troops selected for you. Please hit the cancel button and then fill out the one you wish to donate. Right off the bat, T13 units will give you the highest amount of feathers, and any armament of the T13s gives you even greater amount. The T12 also give you feathers, but at a much reduced rate, as you can see. You're only allowed to donate 20,000 of any one of those types per day. You can gain these wings of heavenly chests and then open up these as well for additional ways to gain feathers. Next, we'll be looking at the event, the Archangel Arrived event. And here, this is the opportunity to use your T14s and recall them for free. There are certain rules towards doing these things, and you must please read the rules. All Archangels that die in the game must be recalled here on this page. Please make sure you click on the details of the event right here on the top right of the screen. There is a delay cycle for this. It is 24 hours. And after the event, please make sure you click on the 1 key recall. And after that, it will take several days for those troops to return to you, but they will. The troops will not automatically return to you. They will come into your system mail, and then you can select your T14 that you wish to add back to your stack. The requirement is this: no less than 1,000 troops must die at a time. So therefore, if you lost 999 troops, you will not get them back, as you need to lose one more troop to get that free 1000. Here is how to set them up in your pre-formation. On the top right corner, click on this, and then select the T14 that you will use in your march to leave your castle. Once you have built your T14s, you will then add it to your formation, and you cannot send an additional T14 type outside your castle. Now, how to set your T14 to defend yourself? You must go to your discipline hall and then click on set as defense, and then select the troop type that you wish to defend yourself. You must have them built in order for them to defend yourself, and they must be in your castle. My final conclusion is the infantry is a defense unit, the archer and cavalry are a balanced offensive and defensive unit, and the siege is a pure offensive unit type.